Has your firm decided to invest in an AI tool, but have you thought about the cost of rolling it out in other countries where you have a presence? So if you're at a company that has any kind of international presence, whether it's multinational or otherwise, you may have thought, okay, this is a great AI tool. You may have looked at the ROI projections and saw something that was relatively linear. However, every country has different laws and regulations around data and privacy and AI. So it's going to take longer to roll out an AI tool in some countries as opposed to others. Here are the three things that you need to consider upfront and factor into your ROI before you decide to make that huge investment. That way it doesn't kill your ROI. Number one, look at the regulatory and compliance landscape. You want to understand, if you're in the EU, what GDPR is and how it's going to affect that rollout. If you're in India, there's a DPDP and you want to understand that. But if you're from overseas and you're doing it in the US, then different states have different rules. So we have 50 different states, but the most stringent rules are really in California. Second is data quality, access, and localization. I mean, never underestimate how clean your data is and what it's like in different countries, because you may have one standard in one country and then say you're in Singapore and the data is in a completely different situation. You need to get that situated before you roll out any kind of AI tool. You also have to think about what data the model is trained on. So is it just trained on US data, or is it going to have some kind of cultural or context that takes into account the other country and languages? These are things to consider because you don't want that to become a high cost or a sudden blocker as you're trying to roll out an AI tool. Finally, the third thing to consider is cultural and organizational adoption. There's just different cultural approaches to organizational change in different countries. And even though there may be different laws that may somewhat impact how you're doing an organizational change, you want to think about that in the long run, especially if it impacts people, how many people you have, or how many people you need to hire. Those considerations can throw a real monkey wrench in the whole rollout. And what I would be concerned about is thinking that you're going to get a particular investment and then you don't, because these aren't assumptions that take place in an ROI model. If you'd like to talk to me more about how to do this, I'd be happy to help you. Just drop a message in my DMs and like and follow for more.